Alright, today we've got a couple of chainsaws we're going to mess with. Um, a buddy of mine had a little steel, I think it was an 015 out here that hadn't ran in quite some time. I really didn't want to mess with it, but we had the chance to trade it for a couple of Echo Timberwolf CS 590s. And one of them's supposed to run, and the other one they said hit, but they never had it running. They said it hit a couple times. So we're going to see what we can do. I contacted my buddy, and he said swap. He just wants a running chainsaw. He didn't care what it was. And I'm not a big fan of steel. Worked on a bunch of them, and I just don't really care for them. And I've had real good luck out of Echo. I was a service center for Husqvarna for a long time. I used to like Husqvarna saws, and they're not really my favorite saw in the world. I've had better luck out of Echo. I had an old Husky 272 XP it was a phenomenal saw, and I'd say if I could get a hold of another one of them, I probably would. These 590s aren't going to be quite in the same class with it, but they're a 60s. They're a 59.8 cc saw. They're pretty stout saw for your. They'd be like an entry level logging saw or a bigger farm and ranch saw, however you wanted to look at it. And they're better. They're going to be better than most of your little. A lot of people run the 455 Husqvarna 455 Rancher around here, and these are a whole lot better saw, in my opinion. But anyways, we're gonna see about getting these cranked up and see if this one's supposed to run, and we'll make sure it does, and then we'll see about the other one. Oh. That one sounds pretty good. Like I said, it's a Husqvarna CS 455 or 590 Timberwolf. I've wanted one for a long time. They're a fairly inexpensive saw. I think they're about $400 new, but it's hard to justify spending $400 on one. Anyways, this came up. They sell used for around $200, and then he was wanting $100 for the pair of these, and we traded that little steel for it. The steel didn't run, and I figured we didn't get hurt too bad on it. The steel, I don't know. If you were into collecting classic steels, it was probably between $150 and $250 saw, but this one needed a lot of work. And so we have one, what sounds like a pretty healthy saw. The other one's down here on the ground. I'll get it up here in a minute. It's a little bit rougher, and we'll see what it does. So this one says it's a CS 590. It does not say Timberwolf on it. Looks like it's been used and abused a little bit. Somebody put some undercoating bedliner spray, rubber dip, something on it. We're going to see if it has any oil in it, or any gas and any oil. She's bone dry, so we'll dump a little bit of gas in it and Got a little bit of oil. Don't know if you'll be able to see down in there. So we got half a tank of oil. So we may see if we can swipe a little gas out of this other one and put in here. If I can get my thing to cooperate with me here. I think I don't know what I did with my jug of mixed gas. Say I'll take it out of here. I don't know. There we go. Well, there's not much in there, if any. Yeah, we won't be getting anything out of that. We'll have to go find some. Alright, we've got a little bit of fuel in it. Fuel's on, choke's on. That filter's pretty nasty. That one's not a whole lot better. Anyway, that filter's not the best. We'll give it a hit here again. It is revving up like it is out of fuel. I know good and well it is not. I don't know if it's not venting. We'll have to play with it and find out. If any of them's not venting, it should be that one. Somebody's been in here and adjusted the living daylights out of this thing. I'm going to go grab some screwdrivers and I'll be right back. This is actually the next day. We had a pretty big downpour that kind of washed us out for the day. And I'm really not sure what happened to the audio, but we have zero audio for most of today, so I'm just going to kind of do a running commentary and try and make up what I honestly can't remember what all we were saying, but we're just going to make it up as we go. But I decided to go ahead and pull the carburetor off this saw. It was running good, so we're going to pull it off and put it on the saw with a rubber undercoating on it, just to determine whether the saw actually was worth messing with and ordering parts for or not. here you just gotta kind of twist the fuel lines and pull them off. And if you'll actually take and loosen the gas cap, let the pressure off, it won't squirt out near as much fuel. But where's the fun in that? So I'll just kind of do a shortcut ahead. We went ahead, reinstalled this carburetor, or installed the carburetor off the running saw onto the non-running one, and could not. It would fire and die just like the other carburetor was. So we'll kind of fast forward ahead and show you what we were doing there. Like I said, we'd put it all the way together and everything, and the saw would just start and die. And so we've already started tearing it. We had already started tearing it back down, and we took the carburetor we'd pulled off the rubber dip saw, put it on the other saw, and it ran. It needed some tuning, but it ran just fine. At this point, I'd pulled the spark plug out, was pulling the saw over, and it was squirting some watery gas out of the spark plug hole. I mean, just tons of it, and out of the impulse tube. And the impulse tube shouldn't have anything in it. It takes a little bit when your piston passes. It takes a pulse of compression and just pumps the diaphragm to pump fuel up out of the fuel tank into the carb. But it was leaking out of it every time we turned it over and just blowing out of the spark plug hole. So we just turned it upside down to drain it. Here you can see it. Well, you could see it bubbling out of the impulse tube, but we pulled it until it kind of cleared up, and then decided to reassemble it all here. Here we get the spark plug all put back in, get it down, and we go to fire the saw up, and we have success. Like I said, it takes a little bit of tuning in at this point, but it was successfully running and working. Alright, this is the next day, and we have these things put together and running. We're going to give you a cold start. This is on the Echo CS 590 and then a 590 Timberwolf. I'm not sure what the difference is in them. I haven't got a clue. Really don't have a clue. But anyway, we're gonna probably clean this old saw up. So I said earlier somebody's rubber coated it and it just looked kind of nasty. But anyway, this one actually runs really good. Somebody's debaffled the carb, and it just acts like it's got a lot of power. It runs stronger than what that one there does. So we'll choke it. That one starts good. This one here, this one was having more trouble with, which gonna have to tune the carb on it a little bit better. And actually, I'm just waiting for a carb rebuild kit. We're just gonna rebuild it. Anyway, here it goes. It started better than I expected it to. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.